Please rise. Oyez, oyez, oyez. Court of Common Pleas of Delaware County is in session. The Honorable Linda Cardizano, President Judge presiding.
Thank you. If everyone please would have a seat, we're going to have some vocal selections by Lieutenant Kevin Pierce of the Pennsylvania State Police, retired.
Thank you. I'm actually going to ask you to stand for our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets and the bombs bursting in air gave proof with our light that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the brave.
Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Michael J. Davey, Esquire, Vice President and Wall Day Chairperson, member of the Delaware County Bar Association.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. We'll have the invocation by Reverend George Anderson of St. Luke Community Church, located here in the city of Chester.
Let us pray. God, on this Law Day 2023, we celebrate you. We celebrate all that are gathered. Indeed, you are a God of law. You're a God of order. You're a God of justice. You're a God of mercy. And so, God, we pray your blessings upon this gathering and all that will take place, that we might bring glory and honor to your name. For we ask it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Good afternoon and welcome to our historic courthouse located here in the city of Chester. I'd like to start by introducing my fellow judges who have joined me here today for this program. To my left, which would be your right, is the Honorable Nusrat Love, who is the liaison judge for the Family Division of the court. Seated to my right is Judge Deborah Krall, who is a judge sitting in our Family Division. Next to her is Judge Nathaniel Nichols, retired, who for many years served in our juvenile court, did a tremendous job and helped many children to get on the right path again. And we thank him for all those efforts. I tried to get him to come back and be a senior judge, but he wouldn't do it. I tried my best. I'd also like to introduce, we have here with us today George Dawson, who's a magisterial district judge here in Delaware County. We are very fortunate to have with us Jack Stolzheimer, our district attorney for the County of Delaware, who took time out of his schedule to join us here today, and we thank him for that. There are some court directors who have come down here today, and I'd like to acknowledge them. I have Gerald Montella, Esquire, who is the District Court Administrator for the County of Delaware. Didn't I say District Court Administrator? Okay. Thank you. Danielle DiMatteo is the Director of Juvenile Court and Probation Services. Christy Rosado, who is our Deputy Court Administrator for our Magisterial District Courts. I'd also like to acknowledge the elected officials of the City of Chester who have joined us here today. We have Mayor Kirkland, Councilwoman Liz Williams, Councilman Stefan Roots. Did I miss anyone? And I want to acknowledge Pat Daly, who is the president of the Delaware County Bar Association, who has come here today with our new executive director and many members of the elected board of the association. I'm going to ask Pat to introduce the members that have joined him today.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Judge Love, Judge Kroll, Judge Nichols for being here with us today as well. Thank you to Dave for putting this together. Do I need the microphone? Yes, you do. All right. Thank you, everybody. My name is Patrick Daly. I'm the president of the Delaware County Bar Association. I'm happy to be here today. Thank you to the judges. Thank you to Dave for putting this together. Thank you, presenters, for being here. I'm looking forward to this. With us here from the Bar Association is past President Karen Friel, who's right there in the front. Next to her is Jerry Montel. He's the court administrator. He is also a past president of our association. Behind them is Rachel Prince, the executive director of the association. Across the pew from her is Michael Davey, the vice president of the association this year. We go into the back row. We have Matthew Bilker, who is the secretary, treasurer of the association this year. My apologies. Next to him is Rachel Kenny. She is the president-elect of the association. And next to her is Michael Hill. He is the corresponding secretary of the association. Thank you all for being here. I look forward to this program.
I do want to acknowledge we have many members of the Delaware County Historic Society who have tirelessly worked to not only keep this building known to the public, but to keep the artifacts and history of Delaware County alive through the Historic Society. I was lucky enough to serve on the board with them for many years, and it is a tireless job cataloging, organizing, and going through what some of us may just characterize as our things we put in our attic and forget about, but they have a meaning here in Delaware County, and they've worked tirelessly on that behalf. So I thank them for joining us here today also. Dave, I'm going to turn it over to you at this time.
May it please the court and to all of our illustrious guests, friends, everybody who's here, welcome for Law Day 2023 in Chester. This is, I guess about, well, the program says, the 65th time that we've done this. It was initiated by President Eisenhower many years ago in response to what was then going on in the Soviet Union, where they would show the strength of their arms as being the symbol of what they were all about. President Eisenhower, who was a military guy, said that isn't what America is about. America is about the rule of law. And people understand that that's what democracy is built upon. And today we're here celebrating Law Day with the theme Cornerstones of Democracy, Civics, Civility, and Collaboration. One of the things that we sorely miss in a lot of things today is the idea of collaboration. People need to treat one another civilly, and hopefully our presenters are going to address some of those issues. And if we could all just kind of be better to one another, if we show respect for one another, that really is the basis for our laws. So with that in mind, we're going to turn it over to, first we're going to have virtual presentations. Certain students were unable to be here, but they recorded their essays. Those will be presented, and then we'll continue on with some live presentations. Welcome, thank you for being here.
My name is Aisha Khan. My family and I are new to America, having come from Pakistan in 2021. In my classes here at STEM, I'm learning that the Constitution of the United States is one of the most amazing documents in the world written by a human being. It begins with the Declaration of Independence declaring that we the people have been endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, which includes the pursuit of happiness, and that no law should destroy or mitigate the people's safety and happiness. Then, the First Amendment of the Constitution states that Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech, giving Americans unlimited freedom of speech. While I am astonished at the nobility of the vision of the authors who wrote the Constitution, in my opinion, however, I think that there should be a limit to freedom of speech, because people say things that hurt others severely, and sometimes lead to death, which clearly impacts our safety and happiness. Here are some specific examples. A few months ago, I was at the mall with my mom and dad, and I saw one woman say something to another that was very hurtful. The first lady told the second that she shouldn't wear her traditional attire, which resembled the attire worn in Bangladesh. She said that she looked horrible, and she shamed the second woman about her skin color. She also told the woman that if she wanted to be in the United States, she had to wear clothes like everyone else was wearing. This indeed was hurtful for my family to see, but I wonder what my dead lady felt. I'm pretty sure it made her feel unsafe as well. Was the First Lady using her constitutional right to free speech? Another example. The former President of the United States, Donald Trump, said, "Who the F knows? I mean really, who knows how much the blank will pay for Manhattan property these days?" He asked in response using a racial slur about the Japanese. Was the former president using his constitutional right to free speech? Then, there are well-known TV journalists with millions of fans like Don Lemon and Tucker Carlson who broadcast toxic comments in the media that were highly disparaging. Not only do they have freedom of speech by the Constitution, but they also have freedom of press. How many teenagers have died by suicide because of relentless cyberbullying, all protected by the Constitution as free speech? Now, the term hate speech has been created to help us talk about this problem. It means abusive or threatening speech or writing that expresses prejudice on basis of ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, or similar grounds. Hate speech is very powerful, and almost no group or no one is immune to it. Black people, Asians, Arabs, Jewish people, older people, poor people, fat people, and people of different religious minorities have all been victims, and I'm sure some of you here have been too, and are still hurting because of it. Although hate speech is real and its effects can be deadly, still there is no law against it thanks to our Constitution. It is protected by the First Amendment. This year's theme for Law Day, Cornerstones of Democracy, Civic Civility and Collaboration, indicates that these three pillars support the Constitution. In other words, they make the Constitution work. They are like the gas that makes a car work. Without it, the car goes nowhere. While we need free speech and a free press for America to fulfill the dream it offers to we the people, we also need to take action against hate speech. But how? Like a lighthouse, this year's theme can guide the way. Civics, the study of the rights and duties of citizenship. Civility, formal politeness and courtesy in behavior or speech. And collaboration, the action of working with someone to produce or create something. These three pillars can be the call for our schools, our families, and our societies and organizations to unite and act like the ideals in the Constitution are really true. I have hope that hate speech can be overcome, and that America will continue to be the great nation it is, and welcome people from around the world to come and pursue a better life.
When the Declaration of Independence was written for the Constitution, the authors claimed that we are born equal, stating, "We hold this truth to be self-evident, that all men are created equal." I take issue with the idea that all men are created equal. They are not. Let's consider two examples, one child born poor and another born rich. In their mother's wombs, they are the same, but all that changes once they are born. The child born poor may grow up their entire lives living in fear in their community because of gunshots in the middle of the night and the very high possibility of break-ins in their house. They are unlikely to get an opportunity for a high-quality education, which ironically is the best chance they will have to get out of poverty. When it comes to today needs, the child born in poverty is less likely to have the money in their household for food, such as flour, milk, and eggs. The price of eggs is ridiculously high right now. Those organic eggs that are really good for you, because the chickens are roaming around and eating marigolds, cost $8.49 in one store. And on sale, the price drops to the low cost of $7.99. Now, the eggs hatched by the chickens in the cages are still high at $4.39. Even milk is high nowadays. A gallon of milk costs $4.41. If the price of food continues to rise, poor people will continue to experience a food desert for healthy foods. There is charity, but that doesn't mean equal a better life. Society will bully anyone for anything, including being poor. And if you just ignore it, that somehow makes it worse. You can't say anything because they will see that you are mad, and now they know you have a trigger. Since you don't have money, you can't buy good quality food. You can only get some of the basic things that you need. That's the side that the poor child has to go through. For the wealthy child, it is quite the opposite. Their neighborhoods are safer, they can get a college prep style education, and they never experience a food desert. They can eat all the organic food they want. The wealthy child does deserve it. Their parents work hard to get where they are, so you can't be mad at them. Poor people work hard too, but still worry about the struggles in life. They have food and a roof over their head and have fun, but people would still look down on the weak or poor. Some may think that wealth is the only thing that is not equal, but there are more things that make the whole world unequal, such as gender, looks, weight, skin, and disabilities. Given this inequality, we have to call on society to help create change. The Constitution claims we are equal, but with what is happening today, in my neighborhood, at my school, and on the news, I don't think America will ever be equal. Even if there are no poor people, the U.S. would still be unequal. I know the Constitution can't fix this, but society can try. If society, we the people, gather around the cornerstones of democracy, civics, civility, and collaboration, the theme for this year's Law Day celebration, we will launch a solid foundation from which to create true equality. I just want to tell you, the people, today to not discriminate, but find a way to help, not a reason. Thank you.
You guys ready?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking your time to attend this annual Law Day assembly. I will begin my reciting of the speech, Inhumanities of Slavery, now. Behold, the practical operation of this internal slave trade, the American slave trade, sustained by American politics and American religion. Here, you will see men and women reared like swine for the market. You know what a swine driver is. I will show you a man driver. They inhabit all our southern states. They inhabit the country and crowd the highways of the nation with droves of human stock. You will see one of these human flesh drivers armed with pistol, whip, and knife, driving a company of 100 men, women, and children from the Potomac to the slave market in New Orleans. These wretched people are to be sold singly or in lots to suit purchasers. They are food for the cotton field and the deadly sugar mill. Mark the sad procession as it moves warily along, and the inhuman wretch who drives them. Hear his savage yells and his blood-chilling oaths as he hurries on his frightened captives. There, see the old man, with locks thinned and gray. Cast one glance, if you please, upon that young mother whose shoulders are bare to the scorching sun, her briny tears falling on the brow of the babe in her arm. See, too, that girl of 13, weeping, yes, weeping, as she thinks of the mother from whom she has been torn. The drove is driven on. Heat and sorrow have nearly consumed their strength. Suddenly, you hear a quick snap, like the discharge of a rifle. The fetters clink and the chain rattle simultaneously. Your ears are saluted with a scream that seems to have torn its way to the center of your soul. The crack you heard was the sound of the slave whip. The scream you heard was from the woman you saw with their babe. Her speed had slowed down under the weight of her child and her chains. That gash on her shoulder tells her to move on. Follow this drove to New Orleans. Attend the auction. See men examined like horses and the naked bodies of women rudely and brutally exposed to the shocking gaze of American slave buyers. See this drove sold and separated forever, and never forget the deep, sad sobs that arose from the scattered multitude. Tell me, citizens, where under the sun can you witness a spectacle more horrendous and shocking? Yet this is but a normality. Glance at the American slave trade as it exists at this moment in the ruling part of the United States.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to start off and say thank you for having me here, and I shall be responding What I Asked for the Negro by Frederick Douglass. What I asked for the Negro, simply justice. The American people have always been anxious to know, what shall they do with us? And I have but one question, do nothing with us. If the apples will not remain on the tree of their own strength, if they are worm-eaten to the core, if they are early ripe and disposed to fall, let them fall. I am not for tying or fastening them on a tree in any way, except by nature's plan. And if the Negro will not stand on his own legs, let him fall also. All I ask is give him a chance. And if the Negro will not live by the line of eternal justice, the fault will not be yours, but upon his who made the Negro. All I ask is untie his hands and give him a chance. I think he will live.
That's a great job. Both to our virtual speakers and our ones present, I think they deserve a standing ovation because they were simply superior. we would be remiss if we did not mention Miss Jean Arnold, who has really helped make this program go with these kids. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kate?
It's a hard act to follow. I'm sorry. Hello, everybody. My name is Kate Clifford, and I am a member of the Friends of the 1724 Chester Courthouse. I am a Delaware County Planning Department representative, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the history of the courthouse and about what the future plans are for the building. So I did not memorize my speech, so I'm sorry. So as you might know, this building was built in the Georgian style in 1724, and it was first used in 1725. And thanks to the Bar Association, it is still the oldest continuously occupied public building in the United States. So yay! Thank you all very much for perpetuating public use. It is listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and because of that, it's one of the few buildings in the city and in the county that has that status. And so we are trying to maintain that and keep that to keep the building in good repair. Over the years, it has been both the Chester County courthouse, the Delaware County courthouse, when Delaware County split off, and then it was bought by the city and became the Chester City Hall, or it was the borough of Chester, which became the city of Chester, and then in the 70s it was bought by PHMC. So in its 300 years, because next year it'll be 300 years old, it has had only 4 owners, which is amazing. So right now it is leased by Delaware County, but PHMC is still the owner. So we are all working together, the state and the county, to work on the building. A few notable events that happened here. So it was the Court of Common Pleas for the County of Chester, but it was also the center of Market Square. It was a community gathering place, a customs house, and held school classes. The bell, the original bell was cast in 1729, and it rang loudly to gather the Chester residents to hear the Declaration of Independence on July 8th, 1776. And then it went on tour with other Liberty Bells in the sesquicentennial in 1926. And if any of you have seen that bell, I would like to know, because I'm just trying to find more information about it. In 1824, in October, Lafayette had a kind of a reunion tour for 2 years, and we had a big banquet upstairs in the grand jury room. And so in October 2024, we're planning on kind of reproducing something like that. So keep checking back with us. I'll let you know. So since August 2018, there's been this group, the Friends of the 1724 Courthouse, and it includes groups from the Delaware County and Chester Bar Associations, the Chester Historic Preservation Committee, Delaware County Historical Society, Delaware County Heritage Commission, the Planning Department, and Chester City. And so we meet monthly to discuss the future of the courthouse and trying to figure out what's going to happen in future programming, and to make it into more of a museum piece. No, indeed, does need a bit of work. It's the last major renovation work was done in the 1970s when PHMC took it over. So as you can see, there's some windows and door work that needs to be done, some plaster work. And so PHMC is going to be doing some of the the doors and windows soon, supposedly starting this year. And then at the county, we applied for a grant for doing renovations to the restoration to the upstairs and for the second floor windows and the exterior stonework, and so that it'll be all ready to go by at least the America 250, the semi-quincentennial. But some of the work will be done by the Lafayette Tour and also by the building's 300th anniversary in December 2024. So we, still use it for Law Day. On July 8th every year, we do a reading of the Declaration outside. So you're all welcome to come and see that in person. And so we have a Facebook page, and so you can keep track of any other events that are going on. And we'd be happy to know if you'd be interested in knowing more about us and joining us. So thank you all very much, and thank you for the Bar Association for hosting this every year. So.
Thank you, Chief. We still have a couple more minutes for a few more vocal stylings, if you're willing to grace us.
I'm going to sing this very short song twice, and the second time, I want you to sing it with me, okay? God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Your turn, everybody. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Unlike our orators who didn't miss a beat, I did, and I forgot to recognize two of the court directors who joined us here today. And one is Donna Reason, our Director of Legal Audiovisual, and if she had not been here today, we probably wouldn't have been able to present this or to tape it. So I apologize for missing Donna. And Walt Weinrich, our Civil Court Administrator, also joined us here this afternoon. I also wanted to ask if there are any family or friends here for our students, either that were on the tape or present in the courtroom. All right. I'd ask that you stand. I really do want to acknowledge what a wonderful job the four children did. Standing in front of people and speaking is still hard for me, and I've been doing it for a number of years. The children on the recording and the children who were here in person stood here and addressed us, didn't miss a beat. They pronounced, they were animated. They believed in what they were saying, and I think they gave excellent presentations. And I want to commend the family and friends of the four children for doing such a wonderful job and encouraging their participation in this program.
do have some gift cards for some of our participants today. I don't know whether Pat wanted to at least take care of part of that. You might want to give them each their cards for today.
Does that include us?
Sure.
Here you go. Here's a gift card from us. Thank you very much. That was fantastic. I'm very impressed. Congratulations. Here you go on behalf of the Delaware County Bar Association. Thank you. Very well done. Very impressed.
We have a benediction for the close of our program. Again, thank you everyone for being here. Guys, it goes without saying, we really appreciate what you've done and your ability to, as the President Judge noted, it is so difficult to stand in front of people and deliver, and that's exactly what you did here today.
Will you bow your heads and receive this prayer and benediction? God, you have shown humanity what is good. And what do you require of us but to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with our God? As we conclude our time together and depart this place, but never your sight, may we be just keepers, defenders, protectors, and makers of the law, striving continuously to abide in your law of love. May we continue upon the work and answering the call of justice. May our hearts and souls be stirred to long for a better today and bright hope for tomorrow for our community, our state, and our nation. May our eyes, our hearts, our minds, and our gates be open to hearing the cry of the least, the lost, and the left out, being led by your Spirit to combat injustice in all its forms and wherever it presents itself. Oh God, we give you thanks for this day and pray strength for the journey upon all who attended today. Be ever present in their pursuits and endeavors. Lead and guide us as advocates and change makers, that we might live fully into the totality and abundance of our purpose, always remembering as brothers and sisters we are called upon to draw closer together and not farther apart. May your Spirit rest, rule, and abide with us all. Amen.
Thank you, folks. If you haven't had a chance and you haven't seen the materials over on the side, there's some interesting stuff. Your Honor, Your Honor, Your Honor, Your Honor. Thank you. Have a great weekend.